am so excited today to be here with Ronen Samuel, who's the CEO of Kornit Digital. This is an industry, digital textile printing, that I know almost nothing about except as a consumer. So I'm really excited to learn more today. Kornit is NASDAQ listed, so although I suspect you are like the power behind the throne, you probably have product in my house. I don't even know it because you're not branded to the consumer. But anyway, I'm super excited to learn more. Maybe we could just start by talking a little bit about the industry. I know this textile industry and textile printing has undergone massive digital change, as most other industries have. Just bring us up to speed a little bit on what's happening there.
Yeah, first of all, great to be here. So this industry is very, very old industry. It didn't change for ages. And it's about time to change. Actually, the supply chain of this industry is very old and it's broken. The way this industry is working is trying to focus what the consumer, people, would like to wear 18 months in advance. Why 18 months? Because you need to design the product, you need to produce it. Usually you produce it in China or Bangladesh, shipping it thousands of kilometers into the US, well in advance, marketing the products, and then hoping that the consumer will love the products and will wear it. To do that, you actually producing large quantities in China and trying to sell them. What this industry is creating is actually a huge waste. This industry, the textile industry and fashion industry, is the second most polluted industry in the world. The first most polluted industry is oil. Second is textile. Why is that? For two main reasons. One is producing over capacity, over production, and about 30%, as I mentioned, never being sold. The second reason is that the ways things are being produced and the way that material is being dyed with ink is really consuming, from one end, lots of water, and in another hand, polluting also the earth and water. Just to produce one t-shirt, like the t-shirt I'm wearing, is more than 2,000 liters of water being consumed. And think about the amount of material that being thrown away, 30%, is not sustainable. So this industry has to move to much more sustainable way of production, and this is a massive change that needs to happen. But another things happen in this industry, and actually which is impacting dramatically the industry. In the past, there were a few brands that were controlling the consumer. They were telling you what you are going to wear. Next season is going to be orange or going to be blue, and this is what you are going to wear. Today, in the digital world, the equation of supplies, demand, and how you influence the consumer is absolutely the opposite. Today, the Z generation, really everyone wants to show themselves. Everyone wants to be unique. And they would like to wear things that they like, not that the brand's telling them what to wear. And the digital world also influenced the way that brands are marketing themselves. Today, more than 30% of the products you are buying is through the internet, through e-commerce, through marketplaces. The forecast is that by 2025, it's going to be 50% or 60% of the things that you are going to buy is going to be through the web. And once you are moving in selling through e-commerce, through a virtual world, now you can open and you actually can design any type of product. If the product sits in the virtual, you don't need to carry it. And what Kornit is doing is actually connecting between the virtual to the physical. And we are enabling on-demand production from the virtual world to the physical, to the consumer. Meaning, if you are a brand, you can have endless products, endless design on your e-commerce, only once the consumer choose the product they would like to have, like I want to have a black t-shirt with something written on top of it, only then the product is going to be produced and shipped to the consumer within 24 hours or 48 hours. So this is the new model of changing totally the supply chain. It's also a very sustainable model from two reasons. One, you produce only what's being ordered and you're not producing to forecast. The second thing is that using Kornit technology, Kornit using pigment ink, which is a fully sustainable ink and not using water at all. So fully sustainable, on-demand production. This is what Kornit is bringing to the market.
Wow. So on demand, I'm imagining also maybe more distributed or localized, so you don't have all the shipping and delays from that as well?
Absolutely. So if the consumer that order sits in Beijing, the product is going to be produced in Beijing next to the consumer and shipped the same day and the next day. So you don't need to ship the product overseas. The same thing if the consumer in New York, it will be produced in New York the same day.
So are you both software and hardware to do that, or are you software? You're both.
Yeah, so Kornit was founded in 2002, and in the beginning we were focusing very much on digital printing technology that can print on garments. And we started with direct to garment, printing on different garments, t-shirt, hoodies, and then we developed technology that can bring on fabrics, rolls of fabric that then you can convert them to a product, and the product could be for the fashion industry, like a dress, or could be for the home decor, like sofa bedding. We were focusing very much on this area, and we're still focusing there. So the idea on the production flow is to automate the production, to digitize the production, that everything is digital, with very little manpower on the production. And this is the area that really Kornit was focusing for many, many years, and we are still focusing. In the last few years, we understood that we can play a much bigger role. And in order to change the industry, we need to enable brands, we need to enable creators, influencers, anyone that wants to create anything to move online, to move to the digital area. And what we developed a system, a platform which we call KornitX, which connects any virtual digital assets like e-commerce, like any platform, marketplaces, to a network of fulfiller that's using Kornit technology, using Kornit systems and ink and software all over the world. So if you are placing an order from China, it will be produced in China, and the same thing from New York. So this is the second pillar that we are focusing. It's a lot about software, of course, connecting e-commerce, virtual world to the physical world. We're also now focusing on the demand generation, and we see huge opportunities in the demand generation. We are all focusing in the fashion industry on the mega brands, companies, like in the sports market, like Nike or H&M, and they're doing great, and they're all moving to the e-commerce, and now we're enabling, for example, Nike to open a catalog and to enable the consumer to choose any design from Michael Jordan from the last 25 years. And to actually, once you order it, it's like a vintage product, and they can, charge for it large amount. So this is a potential business opportunity. But we see this business opportunity in many other platforms that we didn't think about. Think about Spotify. Spotify can enable you, once you listen for a song, to buy a t-shirt of the singer that you like. What an immense opportunity, and they don't need to carry it. They just need to connect to KornitX and to enable the on-demand production. Think about Netflix, another huge opportunity. Think about connecting teams in sports to the fans and creating micro moments of out of games that someone, winning a game and then you create a product out of it immediately, or from concept. So there are so many verticals that now we are going after and enabling, actually we unleashing the creativity. We're unleashing the creativity to those platforms, and we're unleashing the creativity to the creators. Because if you're a creator and you know how to design, it's great, and you can even open a shop in Shopify, or you can go to TikTok and publish it. But what do you do once you get an order? How do you fulfill the order? And this is what Kornit is coming to place with KornitX, enabling the entire production, the entire fulfillment of the order from any virtual assets to the physical place.
That's really wonderful. And is that how a company like Amazon would use you? Is connecting you to creators who can print on demand when the order is placed?
Yeah, so Amazon is actually one of is our biggest customer as today, and it's growing very, very fast, using our technology all over the world. And think about it, Amazon didn't start in the fashion industry, in the textile. Actually, they started in the book industry, right? About 25 years ago, they said, okay, let's go digital and enable the consumer to buy any type of book, not the books that are on the shelf in the store. But this is just the beginning, because once you went digital and you ordered the book was not on the shelf from Amazon. They actually produced it, the digital file, and produce it using digital technology, digital printing technology, and send it to your home within 24 hours, 48 hours, and now by now even within 2 hours. But actually, this is just the beginning of the revolution of the books market, because the big revolution happened once they unleash it, the digital, that you can order any book. Actually, they unleash the creativity, because then everybody can write a book. You don't need to be a big publisher. You don't need to produce 10,000 books. You can write a book about your family, about a trip, about cooking, whatever you want. You can publish it. It doesn't cost you anything. And if someone ordering it, only then you go to production and making money out of it. The same concept, Amazon took it to the fashion industry. Matched by Amazon is using our technology and working with all kinds of licensors, enabling you as a consumer to go online and to decide, I would like to buy a black t-shirt, a pink t-shirt, or hoodies, or whatever you want, with any design you want. You can search for, I don't know, banana on top of the design, and you will have hundreds of choices of different bananas. You choose it, you decide the size, you decide the color, and they ship it, and they produce it and ship it the day after to your home.
That's great. So fast fashion is not really going away. It's just becoming more sustainable and in some ways faster, right?
So fast fashion is an interesting question. It's actually the most unsustainable way of production. Right? Fast fashion. What we are doing is not fast fashion. What we are doing is customized. Is exactly designing what the consumer needs when they need. Fast fashion is about creating large quantities in very, very short time and changing the SKUs, many SKUs in very, very short time. But it's created a lot of waste. Yes, fast fashion has to change the supply chain by moving the production closer to the consumer. So moving into Europe or to the US in order to be able to replace the products on the shelf every week or every second week. But it is creating a lot of waste, and it's not sustainable. The only sustainable way is really producing only what the consumer needs when they're ordering. This is by changing the entire supply chain to on demand, and this is a fully sustainable using Kornit technology.
Yeah, it's like fast fashion done right rather than the way it's done now. So you can redefine what that category means. So talk a little bit about what's coming. I'd love to hear your thoughts on sort of virtual reality and how that's going to impact the way that we deal with fashion today. And then maybe we can talk also about NFTs.
Oh, well. Look, interesting. The world is going more and more digital. We are spending, or our children are spending most of the time already in the virtual world.
Right.
We are spending 90% of our time in Zoom meetings and Facebook and Instagram and all those things. It's just getting crazy. And now with metaverse, everybody talking about metaverse, what is it all about? The idea is that the metaverse creating experience. It's all about creating a more real experience. And in this metaverse, actually, you are going to have your avatar or meta-human. And this meta-human you will take it to games, and you will take it to shows and everywhere, and you will start dressing it. And the focus is actually, it sounds very strange, that people in the future will spend more money, budget on buying clothes in the virtual world versus in the physical world. Today people are buying, paying for likes because their perception outside is the perception that they have in the digital world. If people are following you in the digital world, you are also successful in the real world. And this is kind of the new lives that we are going after. And people will start dressing their avatars. And if you're going to show, you will dress one thing, and if you're going to a game, you will dress other things, and you would like to dress it with unique stuff. And unique stuff is you will buy dresses from different designers, and actually, in order to show that it's unique, you are actually going to pay a lot, and NFT is going to kind of make it unique. So if you bought a product that behind it there is NFTs, everybody will know that it's yours, that you paid, that you're unique, that you invested in it. What Kornit is looking into it is, first of all, how can we play in the virtual world? And we understood that actually we cannot play against it. We have to join it. And people will have their life in the virtual and they have their life in the physical. And what Kornit can do the best is connecting the virtual and physical. So if you're investing now in buying a shirt in the digital world, in your avatar, what we will enable you is also to take this shirt and produce it in the physical world. So you will have it also really the product physically. And vice versa, if you bought something in the physical world, you already spend money on it, you will be able to transform it into the digital file, and you will be able to use it in your digital avatar in the metaverse. So this is where we are going. We're also looking at NFTs, and we are building technology that connecting the digital NFTs also to the physical NFT. So if you bought a very unique product and you paid a lot in the digital, you will be able to produce one-off also in the physical world, and you will be able to recognize that this product is unique, and there will be connection between the physical NFT to the digital NFT.
Yes, exactly. So if I buy a very expensive Chanel jacket, I get the NFT that goes with it, or if I buy the NFT first, you allow me to create it.
Yes.
I think I agree with you. That's where we're headed. I don't know when we're going to get there, but definitely where we're headed. So it sounds like innovation is core to your organization. Just to talk about you and your leadership for a minute. So you manage a large organization and you lead they're cross-cultural. Could you talk a little bit about Kornit itself and what it's like to manage and lead in that environment?
Yeah, so Kornit is still not a large organization. We are close to 1,000 people, employees all over the world. We are based, the headquarters in Israel, but we are a global company. Our biggest market is in North America. About 60% of our business is coming from North America, but we are based also in Europe and in Asia, and it's a multi-culture. Now, the culture is evolving, because when you're a startup and when you are managing 1,000 people and a relative a fast-growing company, you have to adopt a bit different culture, but we always trying to maintain some basic DNA for the company. So for us, we call it, we have the slogan, bonding matters. And bonding matter is a matter of connecting between between us as the employees of Kornit, between us to our customers. Bonding also is between the ink that we are printing on garments to the garment itself, to our suppliers. So I can tell you that bonding matter was actually a big challenge in the last 2.5 years with the COVID. People work from home. People had lots of issues with kids going to school or not to school. Every day we wake up to new pandemics all around us, a lot of uncertainty. As for us as Kornit, we tried very hard in the last 2.5 years to even go one step further and strengthening the bonding matter. Not only through Zoom meetings, staying connecting to our employees and really encouraging them to come to the office, of course with all the protection needed, but there's nothing like meeting people in the corridors, sitting face to face. The virtual is important, but without sitting together and feeling each other, we are losing a lot of the passion. Kornit is a lot about passion. You will see many of our people here with bright eyes. We care about our customers, and many companies are telling it, but this is in our DNA. And we care about the company and about our product. We believe that what we are doing is much bigger than just the products that we are selling. It's really about changing the industry and changing the world to a better world, much greener world, which is more sustainable.
Yeah, wow. I can definitely see why people would bond with that as a slogan. And you're right. There's just, I know in my consulting work, just, the last 6 months or so, been able to get people back face to face in a room, and it's remarkable. We don't have to tell people to close their laptop lids anymore. They want to be there. The conversations are engaging, and the outputs are some of the most innovative and creative I've seen in my 2 decades of this kind of work, because people are so engaged and they can actually get back together. So I'm happy you're able to move in that direction as well. Speaking of moving in a direction, the slogan for my business is up and to the right, because that's the place on the 2x2 matrix where we always want to be, up in that upper right-hand corner. Was there a moment in your successful career when you knew that your career was moving up and to the right in that direction?
Yeah, it's a tough question, because there are many moments of that you can define as a success. And you growing as a person, you're learning every day, you're growing the teams, you're reaching new heights in terms of business results. But for me, in the end, it's more about the personal results. It's more about seeing that you're doing the right thing. I'll give you an example that happened to me actually 3 months back.
Okay.
It's my daughter just ended her graduated from the army service. In Israel, every person needs to go to the army, even girls are doing 2 years service. And usually after that, they are going to university. My daughter decided to travel around the world. And it's quite common in Israel. And usually in this age, they love to travel by themselves, with friends. So my daughter as well with friends, was traveling with friends. She's still traveling. And I think that one thing that I'm very proud, she actually called me and told me, "Dad, why don't you join me for 1 week in Argentina?" She's traveling in South America. For me, it's actually one of the biggest accomplishments that I can say as a human in the end. To see that your daughter really in the most exciting place and with friends. She wants you to join her. You know, her old father. This is an achievement for me beyond any business achievement that I can share.
Oh, what a wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I can see how that ethos permeates you, and I'm sure permeates your leadership as well. So thank you again. And thank you for joining me today. I've really enjoyed our conversation. I not only learned a lot, but I can see the passion that you bring to it. So thank you again. And just to remind those that are listening, this is Ronen Samuel, who's the CEO of Kornit Digital, and they're NASDAQ listed, so you can find out a lot of information about them if you want. And of course, this will be available to replay in the future. So thank you again for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Everyone
It
else,
was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you again.